Hi, I am Rebecca. I am the owner of Unfinished.works. I am an artist and creative, all around creative. And I am here today with.
Jonas Sackey. I am the CEO of Sackey CC, and I'm a fashion designer from London, and like I'm just an all-round creative.
Great. So, Jonah, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. The weather's not helping, but I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You
Britain,
know,
innit? Do you know what I mean?
It's London. You
Typical
have
British
to make
weather.
do.
Yeah,
You
can't
have to make
complain.
do. So, tell me more about your brand, Sackey. How did it come about? Name? How? What was your inspiration behind it? For those that don't know.
Oh, fair. Yeah. So basically, Sackey CC is like Sackey is my surname. So
Okay.
my full name is Jonas Manuel Sackey. So like,
Get to know people. Get
so
to know.
yeah. So like, yeah, but I'm from Ghana and whatnot. So like, it's my family name. I like Sackey has always been like a surname that I don't know. There's always something about it. There's always been a stigma like around my family. We've all been proud to be Sackeys, like, and my family's always made that evident thing for me. So like, Sackey CC is literally just about me like kind of discovering myself within this British society, really like understanding what it means to be like a British Ghanaian, what it means to be Ghanaian, like what um and like also just like more or less like my story and also like narrating like my family story at the same time. Yeah, pretty much. So like, I mean, that's how I just kind of delved into a lot of things. But that was like the basis of the template. And then we just go into layers.
I'm gonna pick into that one. So what is it like being a British Ghanaian?
A British Ghanaian. I mean, from my experience, I can't speak for everyone, but like, it's always been a bit. It's been an interesting experience. Like, I feel like one thing is being from like a Ghanaian household, and then like when you go to school, you're in like a British society where you have to like really understand like what their walk in life is. Like they come from completely different households. Like we're mixing together. I might pick up bad habits. I might pick up all these things, and like it's not what I got raised on, but it's what like I have to adapt to. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I went to a primary school where like, I think primary school for me was like the best time. I think just because like it was like really enjoyable as a kid. You know what I mean? I was enjoying it. I actually had fun.
No responsibilities.
Yeah, and then when I get to secondary school, I hated it. Like I just hated every part of it because like
it's the same.
I think it was just like a very linear kind of like, I don't know, it's too much structure. And also like the people that I was with and whatnot, like I mean, there was you had your peoples, like we was like a 2% of black people, like in my school, and like all the rest of it was white. And like to be honest, there was like really good parts, like really fun parts, but there was also like things where like it praised like my confidence. I didn't really know how to kind of like adapt into those things. Like I was really exploring, I was trying to explore, and like maybe like there was a lot of things that I feel like I've encountered, like assumptions or presumptions about me, or like even like to the point like maybe like racism. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, well, I didn't mean to do that in quotation marks, but racism, because like it was always like my facial features always used to get attacked. Like a lot of things kind of like defined who like I knew myself to be, and also what other people perceived of me. I think there was always like that was really hard for me to understand that concept, because I didn't understand how people can have such an opinion of me and like really come for my appearance and make me feel little to nothing.
It's almost like judging you before they actually get to know you as
Exactly,
a person.
like they know me as a nice person, but they still choose to take advantage of that and still be rude to you and still say hurtful things to you.
Yeah. I hear it. I can relate to that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I have a question. Was your household like Ghanaian at home and then England outside, or was it like a mixture?
So, do you know, like my household, I would say it's more Ghanaian, but like it was a very like disjointed household. So I grew up. Well, I mean, I hope like my family don't see like comfortable for this or whatever. But I mean, my brother will probably see this or whatever. Whoever's gonna listen to. But like, the way my structure of my household was, wasn't unified. I don't think. Like there was moments where it was very unified, but it also wasn't, because like my mum and dad used to stay in separate rooms, and I used to sleep in the same room with my brother and myself. So it was like 3 people in one room. Then my brother has his own room, and then like my dad will go to work, does a night shift. My mum will go work, and then like I'll either have to go to work with her, or like I had to stay at one of my neighbours' house. So it was very just disjointed. My brothers are obviously at uni. They probably went to, not uni. They were at either college or they were working and whatnot. And like it was kind of like an adaptable situation. With like, what should I do? Come home from school, kind of like finding my feet and whatnot. But it wasn't a space. It was always like. I would say it was very Ghanaian, just because of like the food I was eating, everything like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There was a culture around it, but it was also very British because of like the life we lived. And like, I think for me, like living in Croydon and like specifically New Ireland, like you're exposed to, obviously, like I think the music was kind of made what your perception of life was, right? Like grime at the time, probably more or less like UK rap, innit, I would say. Like listen to like, I don't know, like Sneakbo, I don't know, like Johnny Guns, whatever, like all these like other artists around that time. Like obviously I was very in tune with like American music as well. But like my brother used to always get me to like listen to Channel U and stuff like that when my dad used to go to work at night. So like my dad's room only had Sky. It was the only room that had Sky. Downstairs didn't have Sky.
So you guys used to sneak in there?
Well, I mean, not even sneak in there. He let us.
Fair enough.
But we would just watch all the TV in his room.
Yeah.
So like we used to watch Channel U, we used to Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, all that kind of stuff. That's the only source of like
enjoyment.
Kind of like, yeah, do you know what I mean, that we had. So like it was interesting because I used to fall asleep watching Channel U and literally having the music. And my brother used to always test me. He was like, "Who's this?" Kano. I was like, "Oh, it's that Wiley." "Oh, who's this More Fire Crew?" Or it's like, I don't know, Risky Roads, or stuff like that. Or like I had like quite a like sturdy knowledge of everything that like UK culture kind of had to offer. So like that was my idea of British culture. But it was also like my upbringing, innit? And like football was really heavy because like before anything else, like fashion was football. Like that was my foundation. When my brothers used to be able to draw, that's what I kind of got into. But,
okay.
Yeah.
So how did fashion come into play then?
Fashion came into play because of music. I can't lie. Like,
really?
Yeah, because music videos for me were always just like a big thing for me. Like I remember my brother used to always have these like practice hour DVDs.
Yeah.
And there was one episode like where they would just be documenting like a Wiley or something like through their neighborhood, and he used to have these like New Era caps, and they used to like be split up into different colors. So you have like yellow, blue, whatever, and they'll may have like a cartoon character on it and stuff like that. And I remember I was younger, I used to actually draw these caps. So I used to always just draw like different things. I had like a little notepad that I used to draw stuff like that when I was younger. And to be honest, I didn't know what I was doing. I just like, I really like these hats. Like my brother used to always come, and he used to have like my brothers used to always have like at least 20 to 25 caps like lined up, like all whatever. My brothers used to have Fresh Traders, MX90s, Jordans, TNs, whatever, you kind of name it. They had it, Huaraches, that, you know what I mean? That was always like something that I was exposed around, do you know what I mean? Like, and I think like as a kid, like you absorb your surroundings. Like I feel like I always kind of refer to this jacket that my brother had, which was like a Orlando Magic jacket, and like I think it's the way he put outfits together. Like you'd have the Orlando powder blue jacket, and then you have like the Air Max 90s that might have like the powder blue in them, but it's mainly like a black shoe with like white, and then you'd have all these kind of like things like working together. And it's like, oh, so this is how you dress. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So like that was like my first initial exposure to kind of like fashion and like what I actually like clothes. I actually care about how I look. And like they always made sure that I looked good or whatever, or like they got me Air Max 90s. Obviously I probably mashed them up playing football with them. But like, do you know what I mean? Like they'll give me AstroTurfs, they might give me boots, whatever. Like it was all things that I kind of loved and cherished. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you feel about Sackey now?
Sackey, no, as in like the brand?
The brand itself.
I mean, right now, like I feel like it's at its beginning stages, like, but I'm kind of like exploring the outcomes. Okay. I think because like it's so easy to be set in your mind about like what you really want, but Sackey as a brand now, I feel like it can be anything. And like, because my life hasn't just been limited to one thing.
Of course,
it's always
definitely.
just gonna split into different segments. Like, yeah, it can go into like how I'm currently working at a job that is revolves around golf. Like, it could be now have a bit of golf inspiration. Like, I feel like you look at fashion now, it's like an open book. You don't have it as a singular thing. And like Sackey CC, I think for me is like the beginning of what triggered my journey.
Yeah.
And like maybe like even when it comes to pattern cutting, all these things, like all these elements, I think for me just like refined like what I have my degree on, which is like sportswear, and like how to make functional clothing, or just having like interesting design details that like I'm very much interested in. Like anything that looks weird or different, I pretty much love, because I'm like, there's something about it that's like drawing it to me. So why am I fighting it? Let me just like create it and just like be free in it, right?
I hear it. Yeah. So did you always have that interest in fashion? Always like you knew you were gonna work in fashion, or was that something that as you were growing up, obviously your brother's influences, family, culture, that helped. But did you always know that fashion was like, this is where I want to go?
No, I can't lie. It really wasn't. It was a journey. I can't lie. Because honestly, it was football. Like brothers play football. Like
Premier League and.
Well, I mean, that was my dream, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, I really believed like I could make it, because I was playing football every day by myself. Like, if no one could come outside, I'll be playing football by myself, kicking ball at the wall, practicing shots, like doing all these things. Like, I was hooked. I was watching like, you used to have on YouTube like, well, you still have it now, but like highlights of football players. Yeah. And I used to love Cristiano Ronaldo, like Ronaldinho, and all these people. Like, honestly, what they could just do with the ball blew my mind, and I was hell-bent.
So you're studying?
Yeah, man. I was like, I love to like nerd out on things, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just like proper be obsessed with it, because like, it kind of like makes me want more. But I think when I was younger, like, I was quite stocky. Like, I was like, but like, I to be honest, I don't think I was like at a disadvantage. I really don't think I was. I just think like I just maybe didn't have the confidence enough or whatever. Like, I think I just didn't have that instilled in me, because like my football kind of like life and whatever was getting halted because I was in a religious household. Like, couldn't play Sunday league football. Teams wanted me to play, but it was just like my mom was like, no church, no this. Like, I was like, my brothers had all the opportunity to do it, but I felt like I was being hard done by it. Like, I don't think there was enough belief in me, so I was like, then I guess I'm not good enough. So,
are you the youngest?
Yeah, I'm the youngest. Well, yeah.
You're the baby. To be protected at all costs.
Yeah, well, apparently, but like, yeah, I mean, I was protected, but I think it was just like, oh, like, football is a hard thing, like, you know what I mean, don't be chasing football. But to be honest, it was a good thing, because I ended up just exploring and like doing other things, because like I love music, so I ended up learning how to play piano, and then like so I learned to play piano at points, but I stopped at grade 2 because like it didn't become enjoyable. It was just like I feel like my mum always had like an input on like how I need to structure my time, and she's like, oh, we need to practice piano, oh, but you need to do work, and I'm just like, oh.
When do I rest?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I tried to find it, make it more interesting in myself. Like there was like YouTube tutorials on how to make like play your favorite songs, and like the thing is that I was still playing piano till the end of school, secondary school, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was kind of doing like piano lessons after that in college, but it was degrading. It was like tests and stuff like that. I was like, this is not what I kind of envisioned it being. Like, it wasn't an organic process for me. Like, it had to be like, oh, make it fun, figure it out. Like, I could read music, I could play it, I knew how to do scales, all those kind of things. But like, I want to get back into it eventually at some point in my life. But,
get back into your child self.
Yeah, no, for sure. Needed. But it just needs to be a natural thing. Like, I'm not like, you can't force me to do anything. Yeah. Like, unless I have an incentive myself, you can't force me.
I hear that. Yeah. Well, I do hope you find that as well.
No, for sure. Yeah, maybe.
So, for those that don't know, you had like a little fashion show recently.
Yeah.
For your brand.
Yeah.
Your family was present.
Yeah.
So how was that?
You know what? It was quite mad, because like in the build up to it, I was like, oh, like my birthday's coming up. And then like I remember Gavin hit me up. He was like, oh yeah. So we're doing the show the first of the month. Yeah, it's on the 4th of June. And I was like, oh, my birthday. I was like,
Pressure.
I told you before.
I know, but I didn't even let it sink in because I was like, all right, okay, cool, whatever. And then, yeah, he's like, all right, we're gonna do this. The thing is, yeah, like I kind of. Like I knew it was happening. I just didn't know when. Like I actually didn't know when it was happening. So I was on holiday. I was in Mallorca, and like literally when I found out that the date is set and like we're doing it on this day. So I was like, okay, cool.
Now you have to.
I come back from holiday. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna have to do this. I got 2 weeks, 2 looks, and then like just to facilitate because I've been making, but I had like my final year project. Yeah. That I had like 2 looks done, and then I made like a suit. Yeah. Which you also find on my Instagram at Sackey CC, plugged in, you know what I mean?
Follow guys.
Sackey.cc, yeah, you know what I mean? And like I made the suit early on, so that was like 3 looks. I had 3 looks in the bag. Yeah. I was intending to make 5 because like that completes the story of the Sackey pack. Yes. So like in my uni project, I referred to that 5 looks as the Sackey pack. This is like your basic essentials if you're Ghanaian, integrated to the country, like whatever. So like, I mean, when I had my family there, it's just like they actually get to see what I do. Yeah. For me, I think like my mum has seen like my end of year, my uni project and whatnot, and like my cousins, like I don't think they really understood that, oh, I'm a designer. Oh, like I don't think they understood the ins and outs. I actually make clothes. Like I make clothes. They maybe just thought that like I don't know. I don't think they kind of knew what it kind of
to what extent.
Like to be a designer. So like that was always like an interesting thing to kind of like show them. And I was like, everyone came, and I was like I was kind of stressing out because I was like, wait. Gavin was like, oh, everyone dropped out, and I was like, oh, so it's just you, and I was like, what? I was like, nah. I was like, wait, so everyone dropped out, so now it's just me. I was like, now it has to bang. He's like, I got a new presentation. I was like, all right, cool, calm. I was like, you know what, I can do this. I've been doing this at my job, so like I can do it here. Do you know what I mean? It's a minor, and like it ended up being a success. And I feel like the reception I got from like my family was so interesting because like they were just saying that they're really proud of me, and I was like I know, like I don't know. It hasn't really sunk in, I would say, because I was like, for me, I was like, I know, like I can, like there's still more to come. Do you know what I mean? This is just the beginning. Do you know what I mean? And like it was a really great opportunity to even do one because I didn't think I'd ever do one this year. To be honest, like I didn't think I was even ready. Like beginning of the year, I was just like, my affirmation for myself was like ownership. And like, I had to be like ownership for everything that I do. So like if the opportunity came,
take it.
I need to take it.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? So like overall the experience was great. Like my mum hid her emotions, and like I was like, when I asked her how did she feel, she's like, yeah, it's good. And it was like, it's just that, and I was like, you did not.
Smiling.
I was like, okay, cool. I was like, all right,
Grin
cool, mum.
was on
Do you know
her
what I mean?
face. Your mum was like a proud parent.
Yeah.
She was sat there and her eyes were like stuck on that runway. Nothing will distract her. Yeah. And I love that. She looked really proud. Yeah. Definitely. I feel like everyone was proud anyway. Yeah. Because the pieces came out amazing.
Thank you.
I was like, at this point, I want one. They're one of ones.
Yeah. It's tough, man. Like, I mean, obviously, I want to make pieces for everyone. I want to be able to make it inclusive, but fashion is a complicated thing, and like to make products like that and make it accessible, you gotta have money, and like, do you know what I mean? And that will come. Do you know what I mean? And like, one day everyone will have like a piece. That's like my whole kind of thing. Like, I'm kind of figuring out my identity, and I think I've established that within that whole collection because it was just a bit of me, like, and like a lot of it was improvisation, and I feel like it was really like God's kind of like vision, what He had for me, for like this is like I'm putting these ideas into your head. You just need to do it. The fabric's there, everything's there for you. You just need to
speak into existence.
Yeah, because I was making these pieces at late nights. Do you know what I mean? I really had to make sure that everything was how I wanted it to be, and like with time to spare. I worked knowing that I worked to the last day, but I kind of like I
You
got
did that.
yeah, I
You
did
pulled
it
out the
before,
bag.
and I was like, all right, cool. The only thing I need to do is make sure I got models, do the fittings, cool. Did it all within the space of that, like the week of the show, and like got it all
Wow.
done. It was just like I just needed people to commit, and that's what it was. And
Yeah.
like, it was an amazing thing because all the people that wore it, they brought their own flavor to the clothes. Like, do you know what I
Definitely.
mean? Like, and that was like the thing that like I couldn't have asked more for. Like, it was emotional for me that everyone kind of did. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how to speak. Like, I think like there might
Yep.
even be like photos or whatever. Like, he's like, yeah. So what would you like to say? I was like, I like what? You know what I mean? I
proud.
was just like, what am I meant to say? Like, I don't know. Like, this is my first rodeo. Do you know what I mean? Like,
The first of many.
yeah, the first of many.
The
Do you
first
know
of
what I mean?
many.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
Yeah.
you definitely had a good team, had a good vibe. They definitely brought it. It was
Yeah.
felt in the room.
For sure.
Like, the eyes could not get off the runway.
Yeah.
I feel like it got to a point where people actually wanted more. And I was like, oh my god, it's finished. Okay. But it was so good. It was
Yeah.
so well put together. The models were great.
Yeah.
Clothes were impeccable.
Yeah.
Detailing was chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Like, how do you see yourself taking Sackey from then to like to the future?
I mean, I'm still kind of figuring that out right now because like I think like I'm gonna let it be as organic as it can be, and like to be honest, like I kind of look at fashion now, like even like how I kind of look at clothes now, and it's like a different thing, like because I'm like in my job, I'm working on so many things. I'm working on things that I can't physically make myself,
Yeah.
like knitwear. Do you know what I mean? I can't do all that without someone kind of doing it.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't give a shout out to my girlfriend as well because she did all the knitted bags and the crochet hats for understyling. So like all those kind of things
wow.
like added up. Like it was her alongside mine. It was her her debut as well as mine. Because everyone wanted the bags as well. So like, do you know what I mean? That's like an amazing thing. Like she really like, and these are things that she's just been working on, but hasn't really showcased it. Do you know what I mean? So it's just
Why
like,
not?
I mean, it's just like time, and also like she's not really on social media like that. She's still trying to figure out like maybe herself out. She's going through her own journey, and then like it's just like she was just supporting me in that point, and like that was
Love
just like
that.
that was really honest thing. She like to me it was a lot of sacrifice for her because I didn't socialize with her for the most part. When I was designing all the clothes, I was like, babe, like you're gonna have to go to bed. Like I'm just gonna have to stay up sewing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry, innit? But like this is literally what I'm doing. But she understood, and like I couldn't ask for that. Like, ask for more, to be honest.
Love
But,
that. Love
yeah.
that. That's really
Sorry, but
cool.
what was your question?
So my question is where you'd think to take Sackey from in the future.
Oh yeah, for the future. Yeah, like I think I said that it was like an organic process, right? Like I was like, I'm gonna let it be what it needs to be. I think the one thing I wanted to do is work on the pieces that I did in the show. Like I want to really work into them to the point where I don't know, it looks a bit more fashion because it was fashion there, but like I think it was like it could be more. Do you know what I mean? I
Definitely.
think like I grew up on so much like American music. Like A$AP Rocky's probably one of my biggest inspirations in terms of like style, music,
Great
and stuff
styling.
like that. Like it's things like subcultures, like all these kind of things always intrigued me, and like it's always been like a part of like my design journey. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't always set on one thing. I've never ever been set on one thing, like how we just
Yeah.
spoke about. So I'm just like, I need to kind of just like break the mold.
Yeah.
Like it was originally cycling inspired product,
Yeah.
but it's like, well, my personality goes further than just cycling.
Of course.
So like wherever my personality goes, my clothes will go.
Yeah. And I feel like
Realistically.
as creatives, our brains are always doing 110 miles per hour because they're just developing ideas like, oh, this could work.
Yeah.
This could work.
Yeah.
So, okay. So with Sackey, obviously, it was cycling inspired and stuff like that, and you work in fashion now.
Yeah.
So do you think that has changed how you view your own brand as well, and in terms of how you take it in the future?
Yeah. I feel like I'm like growing my baby right now, pretty much. Like it's going through its stages,
Trial and error.
and like it's having the time when it needs its time, and like to be honest, like I think, yeah, working at a bigger brand, you see how much it takes to kind of like really make it work and like to actually build a business, because that's like that's the unglamorous side, I would say, like the reality to fashion, because like it's a money led business. Like, I mean, in terms of like sustainability and stuff like that and that pollution, like fashion is one of the highest ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's top 2
Yeah.
under oil. Do you know what I mean? So like, for me, it's like we're in a generation where we're trying to fix things, and like what I put out just needs to be worth like the time and the money, at least for me. Like I'm too much of an emotive person to feel like I design for nothing. I just design for style. Like I design because it's storytelling. It's an art of storytelling. Like it's an extension of me. Like, do you know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's just I always had fashion magazines as well. So like, I've always like looked at everything. Like, I've always just tried to absorb everything and like how I could take certain elements and bend them into my will. So like, I honestly couldn't tell you what the future kind of looks like. I just know it's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I pray that. So who are your biggest fashion inspirations, like in terms of like celebrities or brands?
Okay, yeah, brands. Okay, cool. So like, I would say early on, because obviously I listened to a lot of like ASAP Rocky and whatnot, like, you know, fan and whatever, like everything that he was kind of saying in like all his like music videos, like Helmet Lang, like, but then I started to research into Helmet Lang, and like I really loved what he did in his really early stages, but like his story is like very interesting in itself. But like Helmet Lang kind of like gave me an understanding of like outfits and maybe that military, that minimalist kind of like design, and how I can kind of interpret that in my things, because like I've never really been an outlandish person when it comes to style. Like I do like almost like your essentials, like your bomber jacket, and then like probably layering it with like, I don't know, like a check shirt, and then having like playing with silhouettes, like playing with all those things. Like I feel like that's what makes A$AP Rocky's style really interesting, because like the cuts and silhouettes kind of make up his body perfectly. Yeah. Like you can kind of drape something on him and it probably still looks really good. Like, he wears like kilts recently, right? Like, yes. And like he makes it look good because like he's a slim person. Like he knows what works with his style. Like he knows what his references are. Like there's always like reference points that you can always go through. And I feel like for me it's kind of endless. Like recently I've been tapping into a lot of Wu-Tang and like a lot of like Ghostface Killer at the time. Like I don't know if you watched the series. The series is so good. It's wavy. It's so wavy. Like I can't lie. It's very like I'm watching it for the third time. Like that's how deep. Yeah. Honestly, it's so good. Like if you really want to like, I don't know, for some reason, like that group just needs more praise just purely because they're all main characters. Like each one brings like I don't know, so much vim. Yeah. So much vim. Like it's actually crazy. Like,
do you reckon you find like new things every time you rewatch it?
Yeah. Like and like I would say like I don't know. Like each character kind of gets more interesting for me, even though they don't shed enough light on each one and like maybe their story. But like I would say like RZA the first one, like him being like RZA and his brother Divine and stuff like that. Like that kind of dynamic with the household, because they'll facilitate their family home, free drug money and stuff like that, and like also like the clothes that they're wearing Tommy Hilfiger, Carhartt, all these kind of things, and they're wearing like the Timberland boots, maybe like military boots, or like the baggy jeans, but like it all drapes nicely. Like I don't know why, but everything just sits nicely. It just like. It's so cool. And like Ghostface Killer, I remember when he got money, he wore like a what you call a bathrobe. Yeah. Like, but it's a Versace bathrobe, and then like he had like a bandana, like, and he have like the circle dark shades and stuff like that. He just looks like but you speak to him, like you get on this wrong side, you might slap me, but like, do you know what I mean? Like he's just so cold. He's so cold. Like Raekwon was probably like one of my favorite ones, but Inspector Deck as well. Cause like Joey Badass actually plays Inspector Deck in the show and stuff like that. But yeah, Wu-Tang. I would like a lot of things influence me. Like I'm honestly like just a bit of a sponge. I just like absorbing like what Americans do, what the UK is kind of doing right now. Like even to like my friends, to be honest, like Kelvin Five Star, like he's just embodying his true self. Like he's just his character. Like he's just authentic to him. Like he just wants to be like he's fashionable. He likes his style, his clothes. Like he's just like, oh, this works well. Like he just always wants the interesting pieces. He wants to like make himself look just look wavy, and like it's just like the certain confidence that comes with how you dress, and it's like it's something that you can't recreate. It's just the energy that you kind of have. Like that's how you feel. You instinctively do it. You believe in it. Do it. Do you know what I mean?
True.
And I think it's like the same way. Like I think ASAP Rocky used to get grilled. Like, well, I mean, he used to get grilled quite a lot. People used to like, why is he wearing a dress?
Yeah.
But like, he was pulling that off. Like, and people were just trying to slate him for what he was wearing. Like, there's so much like music. Just like, if you watch the music videos, like, you just realize like he was just so ahead of his time. Like, he was actually so crazy. Like, even when it comes to Kanye and stuff like that. Like Kanye is probably a big one as well. Like his Yeezy shoes. Yeah. Like, I was kind of wearing. I got a pair of the Desert. What are they called? Desert Rats. Desert Rat shoes.
I'm not a Yeezy fan, so...
No, fair enough, innit? Like, I mean, but like, I was deep in it the other day. I was like, these are actually the most interesting shoes that I've actually seen, like, in a minute.
Yeah.
If you kind of deep, I know some of them look ugly, I don't get me wrong, it's very subjective, but some of them are so interesting. Some of them are just so interesting to look at. Like, when you have them on your feet, you're like, bruh, like, I can't actually go and buy this elsewhere.
Yeah.
You're looking at me crazy.
That's true. Okay, yeah. I guess if you're into fashion, you'd know how to wear it, dress it, and okay, interesting. Yeah. Okay, Yeezys. I'm not a fan of Yeezys. Oh.
Why? What's wrong with Yeezy? Yeah.
It's just not a bit of me. It's just not a bit of me.
No, I mean, no, fair enough. I think it's to each their own. That's what I was trying to say to you. That I like ugly stuff. Like sometimes, if it looks ugly to me, like there's something like, I don't know, if it looks remotely different, there's something that I'll really find interesting about it. Just purely like yeah.
I like different stuff, but Yeezys I just could never get into. It's just the one thing that I'm just like.
Is it like the hype? Is it like the hype around it?
Yeah, I feel like that did a lot. When people like hype things too much, sometimes I'm just like,
No, for sure, because like, I think right now, like you see Jordan 1s and Dunks, like literally, like rinse to whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like it's literally like everybody's like starter pack right now.
Yeah.
Like the regular schmegular starter pack with some cargo trousers, and like a band tee, right? Like that is like once upon a time where it was. Like for me, like I mean, do you know what? Biggest thing, Tumblr.
Tumblr did play a part in people's fashion sense too.
For sure. Like, you had the influencers like Ian Connor, obviously, like, these are all controversial names as well, so I'm sorry, don't cancel me. You know what I mean? Like, Ian Connor, there was like Glenn, there was like... there
was so many of them.
There was so many. There was like a rapper called Ken Rebel, but he's also like fashion. Then you got like people like Bloody Osiris. Like, you got this whole clique of people that were like Tumblr guys that could just dress, and like they always just had they were fiending for clothes. Like they were just like there was something about that kind of element of life and whatnot that just made it really interesting for me to look at. Is like these people are really, they love fashion, but the only thing that I can't even like put myself amongst them, because like I'm a designer. I'd like to design clothes. Like my stuff is not always going to be trendy. Like these people kind of. Like, I mean, it probably wasn't trendy at the time when they're wearing it. It's just like, what are these guys wearing all this expensive clothing? And like, it's like, oh, like, they don't even never heard of this brand, whatever. But yeah, like I mean, they all, But I mean, do you know what I mean? Like Yeezys, I mean, like, I get what you mean. But I feel like when you own a pair and then you kind of wear them, I don't know. At first I was like, no, because honestly, I put them away for a minute. And I was like, I don't really want to wear these anymore. Because like, do you know what I mean? Yeezy played out. But then I wore them recently and I was like, oh wow, these are actually really cool shoes. Like, I just don't think I ever have seen a shoe like that from me growing up. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's always been Nikes.
True.
And like, it's been Nikes, maybe the odd Adidas shoe. Like there hasn't been a shoe that has been as game changing as the Yeezy. Like honestly, from
I
from
agree.
Nike, Red Octobers,
Yeah.
and the
I
like
can
Louis
see that.
Vuittons, like
I
all those kind
agree.
of things. Like,
Okay.
do you know what I
You
mean?
have
These are
that.
all like,
Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah,
That's cool. That's
yeah,
fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, but yeah.
That's fine. Would you ever see yourself like creating shoes like for Sackey? Or would you just stick straight to like clothing?
I mean, I like shoes. I
Mm.
like shoes a lot. I would say why not? I feel like I can have a good like stab at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see it being like like yeah. I like shoes, innit?
Would it be
I don't,
like a maybe a Kanye West inspired type of shoe, or be like traditional shoe?
no, like it would have to be a one of one kind of not like a one of one design from
Yeah.
like my kind of brain. I can't like there's elements of it that maybe like could influence, but like no, like I mean the way trainers are kind of going right now, like they're kind of being more sustainable. You can make like 3D printed shoes
Yeah.
and like to make soles and stuff like that. Like there's so much innovation in shoes at the moment. It's just like I would just like I don't know what I would where I would start of like how to make a Sackey CC shoe and like how it would even be branded, like all those things. I think there's a lot of things to think about when you make, because that's someone else's separate discipline. You have to go
Yeah.
and study to do footwear. Like I had to study to go and do clothes. Do you know what I mean? Like shoes is another thing that I want to understand. I'm a consumer buying shoes. I have
Yeah.
to kind of like understand what I want, like what is my preference in a shoe. Do
Of
you know what I mean?
course.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that. Okay. So with Saki CC, what was the process of you creating the garments that you did create for the fashion show? Like, was it like you had like a clear cut idea, or did you have a lot of like trial and error? Like, what was the journey like?
So like, I would say from the beginning, I feel like I had to, I feel like from I started uni, there was like a process of like how I learned to design clothes, because I think at college it was very basic. It was more like they told you get a jacket, trace around it, and then like you cut it all together. I didn't know how to do like all the finishing parts, like the neckline, like sleeves, how to do them all properly, how to actually like measure it and be very precise about what you're doing. It was always like a bit of a journey of understanding pattern cutting, understanding fabrics and like what fabrics work well together. And I feel like my internship, the internships that I did, working at Bianca Sanders, Martine Rose, working at Rafa, which is like a technical sport cycling brand, all kind of played a part. Because I mean, in this, like, you know, this is also a fun story as well. I don't mean to segue, but like, this is where I interned.
Really?
Like this space is literally where my internship was with Bianca Sanders. So like we used to come up through that door, and then we used to like I carried up a sewing machine and did it. They had the pattern cutting tables. We used to have all the models. That's where I met Kelvin, 5-star for the first time. Like, everything kind of happened here. Like in terms of like my internship experience in fashion. Like we did our fashion week here. We remember working till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. literally sewing, trying to get stuff done ready for the show.
Yeah.
Like I had Karen Binns, who's like one of like Basquiat's best friends.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, that was kind of like mentoring Bianca at the time. Like it was such it's such a vivid time, because it was like 2020. It was before lockdown even happened. So like, what is it? No, 2019, 2020. Yeah, before that COVID happened. So like, that was like a crazy thing, like knowing that my first fashion show was in the same space where I worked. Like,
so that was like a 360 moment for you then.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's just like it's a crazy thing for me. But back to your point as well, like, sorry, what was actually the question? I segued so much.
No, it's no problem. No, I was just asking what was like the process like to creating the garments. Like,
process, yeah. So like, understanding pattern cutting and also taking a new approach, like using the mannequin a lot more and like actually putting the patterns on the mannequin, like cutting into it and kind of making it fit the mold. Like it's almost like sculpturing in a sense. Like I feel like I just had to take a new approach. to how I design and what makes sense in my head, because I couldn't, like, I was trying to do one way when there's multiple.
Yeah.
There's some ways to kind of figure it out, and working at Rafa really helped, because there was a pattern cutter that just like work with paper first, and then you can understand how the fabric kind of works. Like, you can then learn how to make everything sit nice and flush, how you can make the patterns work, and how how you can then just like, understand, like, because there's some really specifics. You can go on maths about it, be like, oh, so like you divide this into this, and then like, I don't know, like, do really like very, very detailed things to it. I'm not that type of person. I'm kind of like mold it, shape it, like maybe like keep putting a bit more time and effort to try and like get it to the point that you want to be, and then cut out what you have of the paper, and then make it, and then that's your pattern, and then you put it together again. And it's just like, I think the challenges that I had was the fabrics that I was using. I think the kente, I think the one that the colourful one. Yeah, everyone loved that one, but that gave me probably
the hardest one.
Yeah, almost gave me setbacks, to be honest. Like,
really?
The fabric is frayed like no other, because it's like it's a quite a loose weave, and like it's from Ghana. It was made straight from there, and my mum brought it back from Ghana. I was like, I'm gonna make a jacket out of it. I don't know what jacket it's gonna be, but I was like slowly developing it, and then the show came up. I was like, all right, cool, this is the jacket, and then did the shorts as well. But a lot of it was like improvisation, but a lot of it was also like, I think, like, I can't, like, without God it wouldn't happen, man. Like, honestly, I think a lot of things, you know what I mean? Like, some of the ideas, like, it just came at the spur of the night. I'm just like, oh, like, this is what I gotta do. I was like, all right, cool. It's like, when you two fabrics, do this jacket, do these trousers. Gonna use this fabric. All I need to do is buy the trims, and like all the finishings and stuff like that. And like, it was a really nice journey, because like, I really loved the pieces that I made. And then I was like, the first two looks that I had, I couldn't wear because they didn't fit me. I fitted it to someone else's size. So, and then like the last two that I made, like, I made them knowing that I want to wear them, because I want to experience my own clothes, because I have to wear, test it, I have to try it. I need to understand where I can do better, where I can go wrong. So like, it might be perfect to someone else's eyes, but for me, there's still a lot of work to be done.
So I know we spoke earlier off camera that you're dyslexic. So how does that influence or even help your thought process? Because I know sometimes as a dyslexic person, your brain is doing a lot, ideas come, pop. How do you make sure that, you know, you're organized and set in what you want, and make sure that you're not being distracted by other voices?
Other things, I mean, for me, like, I think the one thing that I'm kind of blessed is that I'm just devoted to what I do. So like, I'm very focused. Like, I feel like distractions kind of like probably can just like make me just a bit more agitated. And sometimes I just need to be in a room inside, maybe silence, maybe just music, and I just need to be in my own world. Like, I just need to be intimate with what I'm doing. And it's just like, if there's so much things going around me, like, I've always been like easily distracted when I was younger. And it's like, if there's too much things going on around me, I could just get irritable. And like, it's just like, it's literally a personal thing.
I can relate to
it. It's a very personal thing for me. Like, I think how I kind of deal with it, like, sometimes I'm not that good with like structure. I don't have like a time plot. It's just like, I know what I can do and what I kind of set myself up. So I kind of have a mental plan, and I kind of mentally prepare myself to kind of do the things that I need to do. So like, even if it's at points I don't want to, there's a sudden drive in me that kind of that gets initiated and like
pushes you to keep going.
To keep going. I don't think, because I've kind of always been raised up, I feel like my programming like evidently determines what determines like my output, really. Because like, I've always been told to myself that like I don't work hard enough, so I make sure I work harder. Like, I'm not gonna let anyone tell me that I don't work hard. That's not gonna be a question, and it's not gonna be like a doubt in my mind. Like, I have been given a gift, and like it's just like this is the gift that I need to utilize.
Yeah.
And like coming from a religious household, I think like religion does get a bit serious, but your relationship with God gets serious. And like I feel like whatever God gave you, He didn't give it to you in limitations. So like, yeah. For me, it's just like dyslexia is something that is known and probably like I wouldn't say a crutch. It's more of like, well, I just need it done for me in a different way.
Yeah.
I need it explained to me in a different way, and you just need to be able to put your pride aside and do that for me.
Okay.
And for myself, it was just like, I know myself. I need to then just apply myself how I know myself works.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
So when did you find out that you were dyslexic?
It was in, what was the uni year? It was my second year, and I don't know why, but I think I was doing a dissertation. I was doing a dissertation about gender fluidity in hip hop.
Yeah.
Because at the time, Lil Uzi Vert and stuff like that were coming out, and they were wearing blouses and like really
skirts
feminine.
and everything.
Yeah, and I was like, this is amazing. Because I was like, this is so cool, like seeing like all these like figures, like black people as well, breaking the mold, and like not to say it wasn't done before, but in the 80s and stuff like that, the silhouettes were different, but like you got them now, and it's just like it's really changing people's perspective, and like hip hop's the biggest thing in the world.
I agree.
So like that was like the dissertation where I was writing, but like my girlfriend was like, she was like, oh, to be honest, it became a thing to get a new laptop. And she was like, oh, when are you going to do the dyslexia test? But I think she might have thought that like I might be slightly dyslexic, because she would tell me one thing and then I'll type it and it just took me a minute to process. So that's a serious note. And then obviously the ulterior motive was to get a new laptop. So then I actually went and applied for it, because I was like, why not? You know what I mean? The system's here for you to like kind of like utilize. Why not get the best out of it? I actually did that and found out I was dyslexic. So then I was like, do you know what? This makes a lot of sense. Like school, I couldn't. It didn't work for me. Like I was like, yeah, like educational. Like I wasn't the most academic person. I was more creative, and I always kind of been that point. I think it was points where I didn't know if I was even going to make it to college. So like, I mean, I retook my GCSEs, you know what I mean? Well,
you did it though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I got to here, so you know what I mean? Like, nothing's impossible.
Nothing at all.
I can do it, you can do it.
That's true. Yeah. No, I relate to that.
Yeah.
That's why we have Sackey CC now.
Exactly,
so
do you know what I mean? Creating face bills.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think it's ever held me back. I think it's just like literally only gave me more clarity about myself. I think it's like, it's almost like what people do with like horoscopes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, this is how I feel. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes you need some guidance, right?
That's true.
Like, and if it's the way your brain works, I want to know. Like, if I don't know, then I'm never gonna like kind of progress, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, because ever since you found out you were dyslexic, it helped you kind of figure out the way you work in terms of like your job, fashion, in life in general?
I think being dyslexic, I think there's always been a bit of a mindset, and I think it does go back to programming where I just didn't take it as seriously. And like sometimes I don't take it as seriously because I always just kind of let my work ethic kind of do it. So I guess there's like an element of like naivety of like, you need to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And I think I'm like kind of figuring out what that is, because like it can just wear you down and you could be burnt out and not realizing that you need a break. So I think I'm still coming to grips of like how to kind of manage my dyslexia in a professional manner where like it helps my workflow and like helps me figure out things. But I love writing, and I've always loved it. Like, I mean, I always like words. I don't know why, but I always just got fascinated by big words.
Yeah.
And that was always something that I thought that was a channel to then get my thoughts out. Like, I used to journal quite a lot. I used to write poetry quite a lot. And like all these little things start coming out, right?
Come on, creative.
Yeah, but like it was always just come from like an authentic place in myself, and
Love that.
that's like that's my result for dyslexia. I was like, acknowledge it's there, work with it, that understand that if some things don't go right for you, it's because of this reason. It's not your fault. It's how your brain's wired.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not your fault, realistically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. That's true. That's very true. Yeah, I like that. So do you plan on doing any more fashion shows with Sackey CC?
When they like because I work full time and like everything else, it's kind of hard to fit the time in to then make clothes, but I need to be mentally prepared for it, and like I need to kind of have a plan for what it kind of looks like in the next, like maybe the year. Like I mean, for me, like I feel like I've done more than enough. Like maybe that I probably even exceeded my expectation of what I had for this year. Like I knew I wanted to take ownership, but I didn't realize I was going to do a fashion show. I didn't realize I was going to do that. I kind of like spoke into existence that I want to do that. I want it to be my first thing that I do. But I want to, the next one, I just feel like it needs to be better than the first. And like, for that, I feel like I need a plan. So like, when I start planning it right now, I'm just kind of focusing on like work and priorities. And then like, Sackey CC will always be there. But I feel like that's something that I just need to take in, reflect on, and like appreciate. Because I feel like it still takes me a long time to kind of process what I've done so far. You know what I mean? And we're heading to August right now. It's always almost coming towards the end of the year, and like so much stuff has happened. I'm just like, do you know what? This has been a great year so far. Like I can't complain.
Yeah. It's been the year. I feel like 2023 has been a year that people have been seeing doors opening that they weren't expecting to open at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like it's like you said, you weren't expecting to be the only one headlining the show. And then but that door opened. And it was a very graceful door to open anyway. I feel like we've all been blessed with your work, and we've been able to like share your passion. Especially fashion lovers. It's always good to see something new, something that we haven't seen before. And they were bright, very captivating, and the background of it also really music, like, catches you. It brings you in. It's like, it feels like home. Like, because I'm African myself, obviously I'm not Ghanaian, but it felt like home. In a sense. It's like, I don't see that often. Because it's like, when you think of fashion shows, you think Europe and Europe style, and you know, and it's like when you see like the African diaspora being involved into like fashion, it's like we're here. We are here. We're making a mark. So do you feel like you still want to keep that?
Yeah, that's like the DNA now, because I feel like that show that I did kind of laid the foundation. So like, yeah, the diaspora and everything like that is really important to me, just because like it wasn't just cycling. It's also about Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, and like the music was like E.T. Mensah, and it was like he made songs about Kwame Nkrumah. Because like I feel like people kind of don't understand the extent of what how big the diaspora was, and like also the effect, because if you look at Africa and everything like that, it's like Ghana is one of the fastest developing countries in Africa, and like that's crazy to kind of think, but it's also like it's kind of warped to how Western society is and how it's influencing how Africa then now needs to look, because there's a lot of mistakes that there is in Western society that I think Africa is picking up on, and like not necessarily dealing with it in the right way, because we're not going to learn from what Western society is doing, and not forgetting what our forefathers kind of done for us is really important, because they laid the foundation. They laid the foundation. They set the template for us to like, this is how you're meant to do it. Like, it's like I did a whole dissertation about my family and like how their experience coming to this country, and it's just like there's a pride, there's an element. It's like wherever you go, you are Ghanaian. No one can kind of take that from you. It's just like, how do you put this through clothes? And it's just like everything that went into the clothes is all thought out, because it is a representation of what I've been around, is what I've been exposed to. The food, everything, like the music, everything, like so much things that I've absorbed, and that's only like maybe 5% of what my story is. It's just like there's still so much more to kind of unveil to people, and like it's such an interesting journey, because like I just want to stay pure to that, and like not think about money, not think about all these things, because it's art at the end of the day, and it just comes in different forms. And like you're saying, like it's just like having clothing that is just linking to the diaspora, but also still looking very relevant and very fresh. I think that was then a success for me, because everyone really wanted a piece.
Yeah, I did.
And I was like, well, everyone wants a piece of Africa, you know what I mean? Everyone's got that's the motherland of resources, you know what I mean? Everyone wants a piece of it, but it's like, this is what we can do.
Exactly.
It was the possibility, it was the endless possibility of what we can do as a people and as everything. There's different avenues. It's not just football, it's not just sports.
Yeah.
You got fashion, you got other mediums, you got art, you got video direction, you got music, you got all these other things that we can all do. These are your opportunities to kind of break through and find your lane. And my lane was the diaspora, and is the diaspora. And like understanding that, educating myself, understanding what it means to be black, understanding what it means to be an all-rounded like British Ghanaian, and like where my power kind of lies. Yeah. Pretty much.
I feel like when you get in touch with your roots, you kind of open a new path.
Yeah.
You see the world in a whole different way.
Yeah.
It's like you see it through the lens of your parents, and you kind of understand it more and you respect it more, and it's just like, this is what you went through, and I want to tell your story, but through my lens.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I feel like that's what you did.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's what you did.
No, for sure, yeah, because like it was their story, but as much as it's their story, it's my identity that I'm putting through first. And like, it's just like, thank you for everything that you've done for me. But this is not me. Do you know what I mean? This is me. This is me. And like, I'm not gonna disrespect it. This is literally what I've just taken.
Yeah.
This is what. Do you know what I mean? And like,
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
No, you did that. Honestly, you need to clap for yourself.
Cheers. Big up. That
fashion show until today. Even, I think it was yesterday, I was going through my phone and I have some pictures and videos. And I was like, oh my God, memories. I want to go back to that day.
Yeah.
Because it was such a good day.
Yeah.
Like, I know it was very stressful for everyone, with people pulling out and, getting everything sorted. I know it was definitely stressful, but the fact that everyone is still pulled together and showed up and showed out was amazing.
Yeah,
it was beautiful to see. And you did great.
No, thank you.
And I can't wait to see what you have.
Yeah.
In the future, because I'll be lurking. Okay? Because I like to lurk a lot. And whenever you're ready, we're ready for you.
Yeah.
And we'll be promoting you. God, it's like, I don't think people know what they missed on.
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing.
No, I appreciate that.
You really did that.
No,
so thank you so much.
No, thank you.
I really appreciate it. So
come on, big up Sackey CC. Big up.
Follow Sackey CC on Instagram and ASBO Radio. So you don't miss out.
Go and say the Instagram again.
At Sackey.cc.
Come on. Yeah. That man's got the drinks for you as well from Lacura.London.
How do you spell it? Shout out Jerusha.
Yeah, shout out Jerusha Jalea. That's LOUCURA.LDN, innit? They got some nice cocktails and rum punches as well. I'm going to share it with the guys and that.
Love.
Thank you.
But you gotta shake it. You gotta shake it, innit? Yeah. Next thing you know, you're hitting Ray and Nephew. Do you know what I mean? It's dangerous.
Oh, I love a Ray and Nephew. Can't lie.
Yeah.
That's my drink of choice when I go out. People think I'm a bit mad.
Nah. But on the real though, Ray and Nephew, when you mix it,
Ray and Nephew lemonade is amazing.
It's a drink. It's a nice drink.
It's actually smooth. Ray and Nephew and lemonade.
Everyone's just get a percentage and be like, oh, you're crazy. But I'm just like, I'm not drinking it straight.
Do you get it?
Do you know what I mean?
I have a friend who drinks it straight though.
But that's crazy though.
She drinks it straight.
That's crackhead movie. Sorry, that's crazy.
And I was like,
wait, I realized you're still recording. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, because I was like, she drinks it straight. She puts ice on it and she just drinks it. The ice hasn't even melted. And I'm like, are you alright? She goes, it's so good.
Me, fair, innit?
Oh, this one definitely has red in there. I can taste it.
I had the first kick.
Yep. I miss this.
Yeah. What you say? You want to play the tracks?
Yeah, bro, yeah. Ooh, that's a kick.
It's a good kicker though.
Yeah, like the thing is so fruity as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you just want to drink more.
Literally. I'm just like.
But it's like, yeah.
All right, now we got the music segment and that of ASBO Radio. It's weird. It's the first time doing this, but but yeah. So Jonas has come. He's gonna bless us with some tracks as well from different. I guess are they all independent artists? Like talking it.
Well, yeah. We got Kelvin 5-star. We got my boy City. Got Yussi as well, a part of the ASBO family.
Come on. BSC as well.
And then you got like some just some general tracks on America, like Ghana, Back to the Moon, and Wu-Tang Clan, Protect Your Neck.
Sheesh. That's what's on your mind, yeah? That's what's on your mind?
Yeah, man. Honestly, like, I don't know why. I even told you before the show, like, I was like, I want to play Wu-Tang at the show. But I was like, it doesn't work. I need to think about the collection, Jonas, not about the music.
It works. It inspired you.
No, it does, but like, if I had like, oh, we're jumping on the right, let's do the, like, do you know what I mean? Like, your neighborhood Spider-Man. Like, on the side, that doesn't make any sense if they're walking down the show. Like, they're gonna, like, it would have been cool, but like, I don't know. I feel like I had to really, like, because it's my first show, I had to make it serious.
Yeah.
I had to make it serious. I had to talk about like what the whole round thing. I had to think about it properly.
Yeah, establish the brand and that, innit?
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Brand, yeah, like the music, you know, from the motherland and stuff like that.
100%. Nah, it definitely worked though.
It
definitely
did.
worked. Yeah.
Because I feel like even the entrance, I was like, oh, this sounds sick. Like, I had
Yeah.
It did. It worked. Yeah.
And then like, Also, I don't know if people probably saw in it. I walked in the show as well.
Of course we saw it.
Yeah, I know, but it's just kind of mad, isn't it? Because I was like, wait, I actually don't want people. That's why I made the valleys really, because I was like, nah, I'm gonna cover my face, and I don't want people to see my face.
Yeah,
It's
for real.
Yeah.
And it keeps you in persona. And I was gonna say, obviously you got the footage as well that's gonna come out as well. It's all gonna be cut up in that. Yeah, we have footage. Yeah, it looks lit still. It looks
mad.
Yeah, you've been quiet on that.
I was gonna say, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna come out still. And the pictures though, look sick from Maisa. Yeah, Maisa.
Yeah,
She posted some on her on Instagram.
Yeah.
He made it look crazy, man.
Yeah.
All of them. Honestly, like
cold.
Yeah, it was just so sick. Like I was just like, it looked proper. Everyone had their phones on. And I was like, oh my god. And I look back at it sometimes. I was like, rah, like this actually happened. Like,
for real.
You know what I mean? Like,
I like how the mood was set as well.
For sure.
Like having the lights on the floor, the curtains closed, that really set.
Yeah, man. Like honestly, when I thought you used to put tape on the floor, I didn't realize you were gonna put LED lights on the damn tape on the floor.
Had to. Yeah.
But was you able to get it off?
Oh yeah. Eventually, we did.
Eventually.
It took a minute.
That was
I
mad.
remember
It took
seeing
a
at the
minute.
end of it. I was like, oh no. I was like, wait, is the other guy gonna get angry or something?
Nah, we had to get that cleaned up still. Yeah, but all of us are helping though. But that's what I like about ASBO and the family as well. And everyone's here to support each other and that. And we were there, like literally, like keys and that, anything that was sharp, just scraping it off for real. Yeah. But we got out on time anyway. Everyone was cool in it. But it was obviously it was a bit annoying, but seeing all the peoples that were just there, just helping us, it was like a family moment, innit?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It was lit. It was lit still.
Sorry, I couldn't stay.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. You done your part. You know what I'm saying? It grows the family, innit?
Yeah, for sure.
And stuff like this is only supposed to make it get bigger, innit? Especially being in like Brixton Village and building the tribe and Africa and the diaspora, do you know what I mean? Cold Harbour Lane and all this. It's like, it's nice, innit?
Yeah,
just want to see it grow and be for the people, really, innit? Do you know what I mean? So, nah, it's lit, Jonas. Big man ting, man. You should be proud of yourself, for real.
No.
And obviously, big up you for, obviously, you designed what you're wearing as well, innit?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is like exclusive, but also one piece, because like, it was too expensive to actually make and produce. So like, do you know what I mean? It's a good design, but like, you know what I mean? It costs a lot of money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But they're nice enough to give it to me and decided to say that I can hold on to it. But this is like High Summer 24 gold
like that.
That is coming. Yeah, 2024, like 2024 in thing. But I've got a High Summer 23. It's kind of like my debut. That's dropping in August.
Okay, bro.
So like I'll be sharing it on my personal Instagram.
Yeah, of course.
SS24, I've already designed. It's already gonna be basically just launching next year. Then I'll be designing for the next like however years I'm in that company. So
Yeah. Are you okay? Is it okay to shout out the company, or is it like a bit
man,
techie?
shout out Scott family.
Oh, Last Scott, family,
yeah,
cool.
Do you know what I mean? I gotta show love, innit? Yeah, it is what it is.
That's sick. Yeah. No, it's calm still. That's calm. Yeah, you want to get into the tracks? Yeah. So you see that speaker there?
Oh, okay.
So you can just turn it on. It's level box slim. You might need to pair it in. It's got that Bluetooth sign on the play button.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty simple. So light up. So what I'm gonna do basically is obviously you're gonna play it, and then in the edits I'm just gonna add the music on top, like maybe like 30 seconds or something in it. But it's definitely just shedding light on the artists, isn't it? Yeah, man. We support our independent ones as well because they bring the culture forward in that.
The first track, serious track, I can't lie.
Look, hey, this the shit they ain't ready for. I got smoke for your bars and your metaphors. Fuck a little force, tryna do a doors. I can't rest till my brothers living in the Forbes. Look at these niggas like, what you really in it for? For the clout, for the money, is it for award? How you sleeping on us? Can't you hit these chords? Can't you feel the baseline running through your drawers? Do these niggas make real shit anymore? Do these niggas make real shit anymore?
Koi Bricks. Like, basically, one of our boys, John, he's a part of like, the clique, innit? And like, yeah, but he's cold, man. He's been producing basically like him. The next song, City, Winners as well. But like, yeah, man, these men are cooking up. I can't lie. Yeah. But the music video, crazy. You need to watch the music video for Past the Mic. The quality is brazy. Can't lie.
Kelvin 5-star.
Yeah, Kelvin 5-star. He's the one he walked in the show wearing the yellow jacket.
Oh.
Yeah. So all of them basically like either do music or some sort of creative. Yeah. So like City's the one that wore the big poncho. So I played that tune next, innit? So this obviously EP, Heavy Chill. Some Winners.
Feel like Michigan, cold I see you in. Superstar my sis, girls that look at me. BB head to toe, heavy boats I know. Serenade a soul, yeah, I ain't usual. Won't stop till I'm fucking rich. Put my dick up in the ribs. Just one style with different kicks. D&D like who is this? Brick you cooking up all the hits. Save my money then I spend it. Niggas living on a trend. Tell me why they pay percent. Not for real.
Like the first one, because the instrumental is so like, it's like real instruments, isn't it? But it was kind of still a bit trappy as well, innit?
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, who sounds like this? Like, do you know what I mean? Like the instrumentation, like, just got me straight away, innit?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. It's definitely a different sound, or this isn't their first rodeo. Like they, you know what I mean? They do this often, innit?
Yeah,
so I definitely want to check them out still.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, so man, he's just cold with it. I can't lie. Yeah, they're all cold. Like he raps, sings, like plays guitar, play piano, whatever, man. He's just an all-round musician, innit? Like, yeah, he's cold with it, man. Yeah. Koi Bricks, man. Koi Bricks. He's the one producing the tracks, and then obviously you got Kelvin 5-star with Persona and like energy bars and everything. Yeah, City, the next one, Heavy Chill EP. Go and stream that as well. Yeah, for sure.
Are they a collective or something? Or
yeah, so like. I'm a part of the collective as well. So
is it? Yeah.
G-Funk, innit? So like obviously, yeah, pretty much like it's just us lot as a group, innit? And then like we just basically like I linked up with obviously Kelvin through Bianca and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we've just been locked in since then. But yeah, like early tracks like Shabba, and stuff like that. Like yeah, just like look.
Why G-Funk though? Why G-Funk?
I'm actually not too sure, you know. I'm not gonna lie.
You're part of the thing.
Yeah, I'm a part of the thing, but I actually don't like. It was just like I don't know, like, cause I don't ask too much questions, innit? Do you know what I mean? I'm a homebody, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, those are my boys, innit? But like, yeah, I stay inside, innit? Do you know what I mean? I stay inside. I'm not out on the streets, bro.
Repping.
Yeah,
Okay. That's
yeah,
lit.
man. I got to recover, and like, you know what I mean. I'm trying to build something. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying they're not. They're building something, but they're outside for that particular reason. I'm out there to support them. Do you know what I mean?
You're inside designing what they're gonna wear outside, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? You know what I
Smart
mean? I'm
one.
gonna be cooking up the garments they're gonna be wearing, innit? That's my thing. Yeah, but love to them, man. These guys are doing it. They're making bangers.
Yeah, big up, man. So talented. Yeah, big up. When we do the reviews, definitely gonna review their stuff as well, for sure,
man. For sure. Yeah, so like I got the next track, OC, ASBO family. You see, got a son.
Big up.
I did make a playlist like early on, and like Yussi's tracks just fit perfectly within it. It was all like just like real rap kind of stuff. Like we had like L Sweatshirt, obviously the Wu-Tang. Like I had like Billy Woods, or like all these kind of like underground like rap artists, and like Yussi just fits within that mold. Like his voice and like the way he raps and stuff like that just fits the mold perfectly.
That's it.
Son is probably like one of my favorite tracks from.
Oh, like that, yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's okay? No, go. I'll let you play. I'll let you play.
Go play it.
Yeah. My mum told me be humble, watch your enemies crumble. Fuck it, I don't mean to be rude. You never walked a day in my shoes. When you see a clear choice, then choose. Can't be afraid to lose. I can never find the words to say. Words are fake. Actions speak louder than words today. Sometimes I find it hard to pray. I'm so ashamed. Put my head to the floor. Allahu Akbar. Forgive me for my sins. Need to find hereafter. Rather, need to be my father's father. Please don't make me do this, mama. Please don't make me do it. I know it's my journey, but it hurts me. Gotta lose the game, aimed at the melody. Cut and confused from all the treachery. No longer are you feeling me, fuck with me.
Mate, serious track. I can't lie. Each time I hear it, I get goosebumps, innit? I can't even lie, bro. Like, I don't like... Yeah, it just spoke, innit? Do you know what I mean? I feel like everyone kind of goes through those kind of feelings, innit? Like, going through that, when life really gets to you, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You kind of have that conscious kind of factor, innit?
Nah, for real. Yeah.
And like, I think Sun was just like, it actually, like, I felt like, you know what I mean? Like, it's summer day, if you heard this track, like, I don't know, doing whatever, smoking up, whatever, like, yeah, the song just hits different, bro.
Yeah.
The song actually just hits different, like, yeah.
People,
the EP, like, that and oh fuck, like, do you know what I mean? But there's one track that I was trying to get him to, that I need to hear, innit? Yeah, was the freestyle.
The freestyle, yeah, you were telling me, yeah.
Bro, that's literally the, like, I need, and like, do you know what I mean? That could have been a bonus track in this EP, fam. Like, fuck it, do it, man. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's true.
Yeah, man, real rap, man. That's what it is.
I was gonna ask you, because some people, prefer, they like E, innit? Because if you listen to his series, I'm sure you've heard his project, right? Have you heard this one as well?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So with E, I mean, a lot of the girls that I've come into contact with, they like E more, innit? Because it's so vulnerable, innit? But what do you prefer, innit? Because it's kind of like not a part two, but it's that similar freestyling, just the raw emotion, innit? What do you prefer, innit? Just for him to know, I'll let him know, innit?
I think from my standpoint, just because of what I like from rap, to be honest, like, I liked E, but I think, I don't know, for this one, it had more, I think just like replay value for me, I think this one had it. Like, it had it for me. I don't know, like, I think because he seemed more refined. I think it was a very raw EP, I think, overall, innit? Like, I like the other one, like, I think he had to do that anyway. You have to tap into different consumer bases, innit? And I think for this one, that taps into me. Like, do you know what I mean? The other one definitely, like, it had moments, but I don't think anything kind of stuck with me. Like, not in like a rude way or anything like that, but like, obviously this one just like, I don't know, there was a lot of things that spoke to me, and I think it depends on like where my space is at the time. And like, I just think this was fitting for everything, even like when it came to the show, everything else, like the music I was just listening to, it had to all be like raw emotion for me. So I had to feel like I had to be hungry, and like this track, like, you can hear his hunger through every like verse and bar, innit? Do you know what I mean?
I feel like you can also sense the growth between his other project and this one.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing I told him, like, your flow has changed completely, and you can hear it, you can sense it, you can feel it. It sounds more personable. It's like you're speaking your experiences in a flow that suits you, not a flow that suits everyone else. So it's like, it's relatable. It's like you're speaking to me and you're telling me my story through your own eyes. It's like you will always find something in this project that you relate to.
Yeah.
Like, because we all go through ups and downs in life.
For sure.
And especially with like families, when he touches on that, like we all kind of stop and thinking like,
you're saying that I need to be my father's father. Because it's like, that was a real one for me because like, do you know what I mean? I like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like only people know that are around me, like what my relationship is like with like my family members. And it's like, sometimes you grow up so fast and like you've been taught to grow up so fast that you are looking after your parents and like you are doing all these things. You're kind of teaching them new things that they don't know because it's a part of a journey. Like they come from a different generation, like a different world and like do you know what I mean? And generation, but they don't necessarily understand what we're doing, but we're trying to better ourselves. We're trying to be innovators. We're trying to be all these other things, and we're putting them on. Really, we're educating them. Like, I think just to go back to like the show and stuff like that. But with my mum, like showing her that took a lot of sacrifice on my part to show her that this is what I can do. Because she didn't believe in it once upon a time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think like a lot of what he was saying, like he's saying, was just resonating. It's just like, this is my story as well. And like it was still vulnerable, but it was a different form of vulnerability. He did it in probably the way he felt comfortable doing so. It didn't have to be singing. It's more like, I think obviously you talk to a woman, you talk softly. To a man, you talk with like whatever you need to hear. But I think it's still connected to you. Do you know what I mean? It's still connected to me. It was, it's a great track. It's a great track.
Definitely.
That's what I can say. But I still need to get, you still need to release more music, bro. I told us last time, so do you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, sorry. But,
all the tracks?
No, I got 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah. So next track, obviously, we talked about Wu-Tang. So like, got Protect Your Neck next. Because this track is underrated as hell, I think. Well, I don't think.
Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang.
You know I had to call. You know why, man? Why? Because, I never, ever called and asked you to play something, man.
Yeah.
You know what I want to hear, man?
What you want to hear?
I want to hear that Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang again?
Yeah, again and again.
Wu-Tang Clan coming at ya. Watch your step, kid. So set it off.
Watch your step, kid. I smoke on the mic like smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser, raising hell with the flavor. Terrorize the jam like troops in Pakistan, swinging through your town like your neighborhood Spider-Man. So tick tock and keep ticking. When I get you flipping off the shit I'm kicking, the Lone Ranger, co-ed, danger.
Oh, they're in the O2 as well, you know. It's Nas. They told him Nas.
Yeah. Through your battle, you're saying goodbye like to be careful. Up neck, inspect the decks on the set. The rebel, I make more noise than heavy metal.
It's the method man for short, Mr. Map. Move it on your left, and set it off, get it off, let it off like a gat. I wanna break food, cut me back.
Shout out Wu-Tang, shout out Wu-Tang.
mean,
Legends,
what I
bro.
mean?
Yeah,
Bro.
man. It's cold, yeah.
Bunch
it's
of main
cold.
characters, bro.
Yeah, it's
Bunch
very
of main-
unpredictable. It's very like.
Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah, I
don't
mean-
know what you're gonna get next,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
each
yeah,
bar and each verse is like crazy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's lit, it's lit, it's lit.
yeah, man.
Yeah, very cutting and intimidating. It's kind of like old school drill, like, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
old school drill. You just
Yeah.
don't know what the flip they're gonna say next,
Do you
like,
know what
do
I
you know
mean? Like the personas are there, and like
Yeah.
the fact they just mixed like the like kung fu, like Shaolin, and they just interpreted it in their own world. It's almost like they just used their imagination and formed it, whatever. Like they all kind of like were into it, but like they all had like their trials and tribulations, like Ghostface did with his like. You know what I mean? His family.
Yeah,
do
his
you know what I
brothers
mean?
and that,
Like,
yeah.
You watch the series, right?
Yeah. I'm watching. I haven't finished it, but I'm on mid-season 2. Like
Mid-season
after the
2.
boat, and where they're like they
when they
moved
linked
into the
up.
yard, and the girl like Ghostface baby mums has come through and
Yeah.
and they're like patterning up in it, trying to get on radio and that. I'm literally there,
bro. When you get to this part, you're gonna be
Yeah.
like, nah, it's cold, like.
Yeah. You know what I liked, yeah? Quickly, innit? Obviously, flipping when they had an episode when he was trying to recreate that single for them, innit? Do you know what I mean? And he's like on the mixer and he's cutting things out, but you can visually see that he's cutting out a person in it, and my man that's playing the drums.
Oh yeah.
You're visually
and
seeing
then
him.
samples and that chopping
Exactly,
it up, innit?
exactly, and then speeding it up, and then that was sick. That was cold.
Yeah,
that
I
was
just
cold.
like, oh my god, that's do you know what I mean? It makes you want to
It's cold.
produce, but I'm just like, do you know what I mean? That's a whole nother kind of skill set. Do you know what I mean? But I love it though. Like, I don't know, like RZA, like he invested so much time, and like you could just tell he was like the ones that
he
like,
believed in
Method
them.
Man was like everyone, like
He believed in them. He believed in them. Yeah. Especially that boat episode as well, like trying to get them together.
Yeah,
That was-
like, do you know what I
was
mean?
proper.
Like, it was a risky situation. Like, it could have just popped off. But like, yeah, man, I can't lie. Wu-Tang series was just like one of my favorite series I ever watched, innit? I can't lie. Just because the story was just so mad. So good. So good, man. Yeah, man. The last one is Gunna Back to the Moon. I can't lie. Because I felt like I had to go back to the moon, innit?
Snitch.
Yeah. Is that how you not coming? Is that how you did to your people?
Snitch.
You know, it's something else, bro. I want to say yes.
No snitches on ASBO Radio. No snitches, bro.
Is that how you coming? Listen, man. Hey, leave my man Gunna alone, fam. I want to feel. To be honest, I'm not the biggest Gunna fan, innit? But this album kind of like proved to me that he's good. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but I like, to be honest, God knows, innit? I don't really know about the politics of the situation. I'm not from America, you know. But I say
He was like, YSL, is YSL a gang? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, snitch.
What do you
Snitch.
mean?
Yeah,
What the hell?
snitch.
Bro, he's incarcerated,
But
man.
it's
I
calm,
got
it's
put in
calm,
a
it's
hole,
calm,
fam.
it's calm,
What
it's
do you
calm,
mean?
it's calm, it's calm,
Oh,
it's
you know what?
Gunna.
What I was saying, back to the mood, innit?
If you don't fuck with me, don't do what I do. Think you the one, but he really the two. Better get low when I hit at your crew. I'm sending the cleaners through. I'm barely not sober, they thinking it's over. You niggas ain't seen my move. They set me down like I went out of space, now I gotta go back to the moon.
It's cold though. What's that tune called?
Back to the moon.
Back to the Moon. Is that, which project is that?
The new one,
okay.
Gift and the Curse.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, a lot of man boycotted him, but he's cold though.
Yeah, man.
He is cold.
No,
still.
like this is probably one of the first like Gunna, like, I mean, he's had bangers, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like this is like the first project where I actually took him very seriously, innit? I don't know, like I think he just had a point to prove, innit? And do you know what I mean? I'm quite opinionated when it comes to music, but like he caught me with this one, I can't lie.
He said, "Come here."
He's like,
Lee. Thank you guys though. Appreciate you guys
thank
taking
you.
the time
You're
out,
welcome. Thank
traveling here and whatnot. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And just helping us build this creative community. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
You guys. I can't wait to see where you guys go as well, like in a few years' time.
Yeah, no.
You are definitely the leaders.
For sure,
Definitely
man.
see it in both of you, like for real.
Yeah, no.
For real.
I don't know what
Like
I'm
for
reading.
yourself though as well, man. Do you know
Come
what I mean?
on,
You orchestrated this stuff as well,
Come on,
innit?
man.
Facts.
Yeah.
Bro, I like to think of myself as the vessel, innit? Do you know what I mean? The vessel from God, he works through man and then makes it happen,
Yeah,
innit?
man, likewise, isn't it? Just different
Literally.
mediums, isn't
Literally,
it?
literally.
For sure, man.
But so we gotta keep supporting each other.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's true.
No, definitely.
love you guys. Love.
No, I love, man.
Love.
And that's a wrap.